Town Council passes a medical marijuana overlay district last week. We get details from the Director of Growth Management. And we'll tell you how you can apply for current town job openings online. Plus, an upcoming conference aims to support the creative economy. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Wednesday, February 12th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannel. Regulations regarding any future medical marijuana dispensaries are now in place in the town of Barnstable. Town Council passed a medical marijuana overlay district during its meeting last week. Director of Growth Management Joanne Miller-Buntich says the district approved was a scaled down version, and that happened following a public hearing.
As you recall, we had two portions on the map, a portion in the industrial area off Independence Drive, which the planning board had extended, and then a small portion over on Route 28 or INO Road towards the Yarmouthtown line. They removed that portion, removed the extended portion in the industrial zone, and left just a small compact area in the industrial zone. And as we explained to the council last Thursday, certainly if someone comes forward with a proposal and they're not included in the district, we can have a conversation about amending the map. The important thing is that we are now in control of medical marijuana here in Barnstable, and so we can make those decisions going forward if we need to.
Buntich was also busy last week showing residents the nearly finalized plans to update C Street in Hyannis. Buntich says the visioning session held last week was well attended.
People were very excited. They we spread the concepts for revitalizing the streetscape out, and people milled around and asked questions and looked at them and wrote on them, and we walked away with the idea from C Street. They were really excited, and it was a great meeting, that they want sidewalks on both sides. They want us to look at tree planting and maybe some revitalization of the tree stock. So if a tree is diseased now, we'd remove it and then replant it. So we're going to ask our tree warden, Charlie Genitosio, to go out there and make that evaluation. And they, we're comfortable with smaller travel lanes for automobiles and making some room for cyclists on the street. I think that's a concept that people overall are getting used to. Everyone, typically when we go to these meetings, people say, well, I'll make a bike path for them so they can stay over there. And what we've learned in working with the cycling community, as you know, is that you could make that, but people wouldn't use it. Right. So it would be an investment that would not reap any benefits. So, it went very well, and we'll be getting back to them with sort of a final concept plan, probably in a couple of months, and then it moves on to the capital process after that.
Buntich says the improvements will also include pedestrian level lighting, which was very important to residents in the area.
And so what we, working with C Street, are proposing would be to install what we call pedestrian level lighting, so that the lighting is even and lights the sidewalks going forward, and perhaps even adding some on the town property at Keys Beach to light the area of the cul-de-sac that the town actually does not own.
Buntich says neighborhood input was key in developing those plans. Job seekers can now apply for any town job openings online. The town just launched its online application this week. Human Resources Director Bill Cole says prior to the launch, the application process was very paper heavy.
People that were applying had to fill out an application. They could email it into us, but eventually it was printed out, or they could drop off a paper application to Human Resources and mail it in. So very paper intensive for the applicant, very paper intensive for our office, and then also very paper intensive for the hiring manager. So by switching to an online process, it's streamlined and easy for all facets. It's easier for the applicant, it's easier for Human Resources, and it's easier for the hiring department to go through and schedule interviews and ultimately make the hiring decision.
Assistant Human Resources Director Tammy Cunningham says the system has other benefits as well.
And the good part about is the system is you can upload and attach your resume, your cover letter, references, anything else you choose. You create your profile, and once it's there, it's done, so that if there's any future positions that one would like to apply for, you would just select an application, apply for it, and you're already done with the work.
And you can access the list of current job openings and online application by visiting town.barnstable.ma.us and clicking on the Employment tab. Developing a creative economy can give towns a financial boost. Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin got to chat with David Augustino of the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board about just that. We share a portion of that interview with you now.
We've definitely seen the efforts of the community to try and put a focus on that with the establishment of the cultural district recognized by the state here in Hyannis, and then I know Barnstable Village is working to put one together, as well as is in the town of Sandwich. They've got the Glasstown Cultural District, so really kind of has the signage out there and the awareness that this is a community for the creative economy.
Right, and one of the other things that came up as we were looking at the numbers, Sarah, is that that cohort from age 25 to 44 is highly represented within the creative economy categories. So it's an area that if we're looking to attract younger people to the region, I think that's an area that we could focus on for occupations to bring people into the region. It seems that already a high percentage of the people who are in the creative economy are in that cohort, and I think that we could grow more. And which leads to an opportunity for individuals to be able to learn more about the creative economy. There is a creative economy, sort of a summit coming up. It's being run by the Arts Foundation and the Cape Cod Chamber, and the Workforce Investment Board is part of the Creative Economy Network here on the Cape, and it's March 24th, a Monday, from 8 to 2 p.m. I believe it's at the Cape Cod, but I'm not positive.
That's where they've had it in the past, so
yeah.
The Cape Cod right there. And this, David, I've been to this event a number of times, and it really is a great way, not only for the creative people in the community to get together, but employers to get together and look for potential employees, for people to share ideas. And I think our legislative delegation usually makes a showing at this event as well, which is really important to see that support that we've got up on Beacon Hill for our creative economy.
Yeah, I think they are scheduled to attend, and you're absolutely right. And I think it's a very critical time in that now the state is putting some resources behind the Creative Economy Network, is what they're calling it statewide. Helena Fruscio, who's the state leader for the governor, is worked in the Berkshires, where they had a very extensive and successful campaign around the creative economy. And some of the things that we're trying to do now is to try to find some activities that could be scaled up a little bit, perhaps. Maybe get some areas of the arts where we could be doing some manufacturing around some of the arts, and be able to try to grow the economy that way. So I think this is a critical period for us to move from individual artists working on their activities to a more comprehensive approach that's more directed toward general economic development.
You can learn more about the Creative Collaborative by visiting artsfoundation.org. Representative Bill Keating is leading the cause to delay hikes in flood insurance nationwide. New maps created by the federal emergency management agencies are flawed, according to Keating, and will result in unnecessary rate increases for customers, especially on the Cape. Congressman Keating will hold a presentation geared towards seniors at the Bourne Veterans Memorial Community Center on Main Street in Buzzards Bay. That's going to be held next Thursday, February 20th. You can contact the Bourne Council on Aging for more information. Well, it's time for the annual census. The town's clerk's office has sent out census forms for all Barnstable residents. Don't forget to fill out your form, update any information, and return that to the clerk's office as soon as possible. Failure to update your census form could result in removal from the town's voting list. Contact Town Clerk Ann Quirk with any questions. Well, that's it for us today. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.